Today we will be dealing with 28th and 29th talk. So it is the gross body and the subtle body. So which is really interesting, and this is where we need to understand things. Let us start with the prayer. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tattvam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva-samarambha Shankaracharya-madhyama Asmadacharya-paryanta Vande Guru-parampara. Narayana-samarambha Shankaracharya-madhyama Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-parampara. With the blessings of Guruji, let us start today's session. It is basically Nitya and Anitya Viveka. So what is Nitya? What is Anitya? We have been doing this from the very beginning of the Tattva Bodha class. So here, still we are unable to identify what it is. So that is something that we must be made to remember very often. So that is where all these talks will help us to grow in the spiritual path. So, Vaishnaviji, you can answer. Describe self.
Ma'am, in the initial stages, we begin to think that self is the body. And later we understand that self would mean the Atman, the all-pervasive. And there are no physical limits to the Atman. But self would ideally refer to the Stula Sharira and what it undergoes. So, me, myself, all revolves around the physical body and the individual. So that is what the self
you just told, did I hear wrong? Or self refers to Stula Sharira, I told?
It is made of the Stula Sharira. The Parthiva Sharira. The Parthiva Sharira, ma'am, the gross body.
Can you explain a little on that?
Ma'am, when you refer to the self, you're talking about your body. And that body is made of, the body is made of all of these elements that give the physical structure. That's Stula Rupa.
Okay. What is the difference between Stula Sharira and the self? Is there a difference or is it one and the same?
You define the body that way, ma'am, by saying this. If you self would mean the body, and you're pointing to the physical body that you have.
I think. What do you understand with this? Self means body means. Sudhaji, can you take that?
Actually, I think Vaishnaviji is talking about the initial stages of the journey, where all of us confuse I means.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I mentioned that.
Yes, Vaishnaviji?
I did mention in the initial stages.
So you're still continuing with that. Okay. So you still continued with that. Okay. So I thought you traveled a little and then are you saying
no.
That's what I wanted the confirmation. Okay. So what is self? Since this confusion came within me, So what is, again, you can just tell it, Vaishnaviji.
Self is the
Thanks for
consciousness.
pointing the right thing, Sudhaji. Because I missed the, though I knew she started with that, but still, self is not sukshma. So
Sometimes it happens even to everybody, it happens.
So, ma'am, the self would be the Atman, the consciousness, the one that cannot be seen but is all pervasive. It is there, and we have to just realize it. It is not like the body that you can see, feel. This is something that you have to realize.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, self, initially, how we had understood, is it at the knowledge level, or how is it that we would have understood? Or how have you understood, how is your understanding at this moment about self? Where do you stand? Vaishnaviji only.
Ma'am, I would not say that I have reached too far, but of course, I have realized that it is not the body.
Ah.
And the fact that um, uh, everything that you're referring to is beyond what you can see and feel, and is something that with a guru that you must realize. So I'm in the process of it, ma'am. So I wouldn't say that I've realized much, but I know that it is not at the physical realm.
Yes. Yeah, sorry for that confusion that I had and brought it
No,
up.
no problem.
Okay. Sudhaji, what is it that Guruji speaks of? Universal error. That
The
is
same,
a really good term that he has used, universal error.
the same thing, that we confuse the Atman to be the body. Because again, this ignorance is built into our schooling, it is built into our entire social system, where no one ever talks about the Atman. They only, like Prabhuji discussed in one of the videos, how we believe God, we have a God's room, or we have the temple and we confine God only to that. And this word Atman is never used. And it's like something like a new concept that you hear only probably if you start coming to a guru, or you start reading the Vedanta books, then you will understand that this is the crux of the thing. So up to that point, it is very natural for you to believe, when you say I, to believe that it refers to the body. And like Prabhuji said, no one is an exception to this ignorance. Only those who are lucky enough to come to the presence of a master, or who have the thing to read the Vedanta Upanishad books, they can understand little bit that.
So, what is the clarity that we miss always? Though we have the clarity, is it that we can actually be there? What is it that we miss? Though we would have understood well, but still we cannot stay in that, right?
You're asking me?
Yes, yes, yes. A continued question.
So you're saying, though we understand that we are the Atman, why we are not able to establish and live like that? So I think long ago I read one story. I'll just tell you that. So
Yes, yes.
there was one master. He was a perfect master. He was a Sadguru. And one day, his disciple, who would hear his pravachanas every day about how you are not the body, how you are not the mind, how you are not the intellect. He, like so completely felt that he understood it. And, once he understood it, that is equivalent to the experience. So, one day, the master, every day when he is cooking, he would put his hand into the boiling pot and stir the contents of the cooking pot. So one day he felt very confident that, I understood and I'm with this master so much, and I've back to back, I've understood all his pravachanas. So I am also the Atma. So he goes and he puts his hand in the pot and tries to stir the contents like the master does. But in the process, his hand will be completely subjected to that fire, the heat, everything. And he'll be shocked. And then he asks the master, why, when you put your hand, nothing happened to you, but why did it happen to me? I am with you. I am your disciple. I have complete faith in you. So then the master points out that mental understanding is actually very far removed from actual experience that you are the soul. So how you're going to cross this wide gap between understanding and actual experience, even I don't know. Even I keep asking myself so many times, because in life sometimes your body is subjected to some severe pain. At that time, initially when the pain is bearable, you will say, this is the body suffering, it is not me, all that you can say. But when the intensity increases after some time, somewhere you forget that you are, this Atman, and you identify with the pain and you go with the experience. Even with the mind, you're not the mind. But sometimes when you're having very stressful thoughts or you're worried about something, for some time you can observe your thoughts and say, this is my mind doing its business, I'm not the mind. But somewhere along, you forget, you're one with the mind, and you run like the problem is yours. And it be a long time before you remember that you forgot and went away. So even I keep asking myself, why so much gap? What is it that will close this gap between our understanding and the actual experience? So I don't think even I'm in a position to answer that question. Kantiji, maybe you will only have to give the answer.
No, it's only Guruji. Because even I am in the process, right?
Yeah.
See, the duration may vary.
Mm.
But still, the process is not that you can abide in the self always.
Always.
So, with more of Gurukula work, he has brought back to this more of activities. Otherwise, staying in meditation and staying silent would be for a longer time. I would spend more time. With the Gurukula work, I have to work. So, that is the exercise that he has given me now. So, be it with outside work or whether you're not working, it should be that you should be abiding in the self.
Yeah.
So, whatever activity you do, whether it is cooking or whether it is working, how to evolve is what, how to abide in the self, work through from self. So, that is the task, which will be a little more challenging. Because you'll have to raise to the occasion to work for work. You cannot say, I'll do it later. That cannot happen. So maybe the more we are silent and we go as witness, then we can always be a little calm, and that thoughts that arise will not be more. It can simply reduce. Whatever is necessary, only those things will be, it will automatically work. That's all. Otherwise, it will be blank.
You're very lucky, I should say.
So, no, here, even I am facing a challenge now. See, what level I was, I'm not at that level, because it's more of time constraint, and maybe you will not know the work you will have to do. All those many different things from your routine, right? For over years, you are doing something else, and now a new thing has come up. So that challenge will be there. Yet, how to understand that and work about on myself is something that is given to me as a task and challenge.
But of course, you're working in close proximity to Guruji, so definitely his nazar and his blessings will
Yes, but not much also.
Okay.
It's not like tech team. They all meet there only, right? It's not like so. Working on oneself when given a new situation. It is not struggle or it is not worry wherein you'll have to handle the mind. Yet you'll have to handle the mind. Because it's a different situation wherein it automatically came unasked for.
Yes.
So here is something that awareness is very important. See, the situation, whatever it is, a new situation that we get in our life, how to handle that? Not, or maybe you cannot leave the mind and then catch hold of the mind. You will have to, by thinking, you cannot do it. But you'll have to go back. That is only then when you can catch hold of the mind. Or it can be left as it is. Even this knowledge also is only through mind that I'm understanding and I'm applying. I feel I have done again. Oh, I have done self-inquiry. That is also mind that is telling me.
Yeah.
So to what level we reach is very important.
Yeah.
The mind shouldn't be there. Mind is nothing but I, ego, the small I. So how do I identify each thought, each sentence that I speak? Who is that I? See, so to such level, you will have to, maybe while doing some chat or texting a message, there also, I am doing this. If at all I have to tell that, there must be something. Who is this I? Then automatically we get that, maybe, should I have to write I? Or should I can leave that I and write. So this is how practically we can start implementing in our routine.
Yeah.
Everyday routine, while talking also, I did this very well. Instead of that, it was done.
Passive voice.
Passive voice is the best.
Not active voice. Passive.
Not at all active.
English grammar we learned, no? Active
Yes,
and passive. Where there's a subject, it is active. No subject. Action is the subject there.
Yes.
Go into that. Yes. Yes, that even I noticed actually. That I also noticed that change, that when you want to abide in the self, you start noticing how much you are actually abiding in the small I, and then you find the need to let that go so this can come in. So
correct.
Even I
so each and every sentence we will be putting it as I did this, I, and it is all small I, which is related to ego and mind, thought. So there, at least, see, consciously you're doing that change there. So that is when the clarity comes. That is the clarity, not with the concepts. Concepts and knowledge level from the scriptures we will have got. But how can we apply into our everyday routine? This is where we will have to keep, maybe we will forget. So when we forget, how is it that we can remember? So it must somehow indicate to us, oh, I have forgotten. So I am more in ego. Go back. It must keep reminding us. So the subject and the object identification, how I identify myself. So I am a mother, I am an employee, I am an employer, something like that. All those, I work for somebody, I have this job. So that identity has to be dropped. So this is how these are all the things wherein we can remove the universal error. These are all the universal errors.
Yes.
This is a practical implication of how we can remove those errors.
Yes.
It is not only the body. Gross body means it's not only the body. The mind also comes there. Ego also comes into picture. So body, mind, both are something that we will have to, body at least, okay, when it is paining or all those, we can just relax so that, or maybe when in sleep, how do we behave? We will not feel the pain. Say if I have hurt something, I have fallen and I've hurt my leg. When we are sleeping, we don't remember that.
Don't feel it.
We don't feel it at all.
Because the mind is absent.
Mind is absent. So that is what we will have to remember. It's just the culprit is mind.
Mind
Mind is nothing but thoughts. So how to handle those thoughts? Thoughts are there, but convert it into non-self, that is selfless, or small I, bereft of small I. That
Yes.
is how I can be. Gradually things will move on. Say from being totally into egoistic, or maybe being with the subject, not being with subject, being with objects so around us and within us also. I hear. Who is that I who hears? So simple each sentence, if we are understanding what we are doing, we are aware of how we are responding to the environment, then there will be a little, at least to a greater extent, we can feel the change.
Yes, I
That is the
agree with
clarity.
you. Yeah. We are getting that clarity from this classes, from Prabhuji's talks, and then this discussion. Definitely, I think we are getting more and more clarity, but still the gap is there. We keep forgetting, but we remember more often than we did before we were in these classes. That is what I'm thinking.
Yes, yes. No, because practical implementation is something that must be stressed, because knowledge-wise, everybody can understand, and that will be left at the knowledge level itself. See, each and every moment, how we can carry about ourselves by remembering the self at least. Though we cannot reach that, or we are not able to be aware of it, abide in it, but at least that moment, oh, I am ego, I am not ego. That level of difference, if at all we recognize that, that is more than enough. And that will keep happening often, and that will lead to having a very peaceful mind, wherein thoughts are there, but we are not identifying with the thoughts. This clarity has to come, and we should start experimenting on ourselves and experiencing that. That is when we can move inward. That is what is the inward movement. So, Hari Om Bharatish ji, you came in between the discussion. Only thing is, the question was how the clarity can come to us, we might forget the self. Most often, we forget the self. So how is it that we can make ourselves remember that? Was what the question that came up.
Okay.
So you can only answer. Explain Nitya and Anitya.
Nitya means it is ever present, which is constant. And Anitya, it keeps changing. It is present now, and which is might be present or may not be present in the future. So Atma only is the Nitya. Rest everything is Anitya.
Okay. What is mind?
Mind is subtle body.
So with respect to Nitya and Anitya.
Mind is Anitya.
So how is it that you're depending on Anitya as mind?
Since thoughts constantly keep changing, the whatever thoughts I am having right now, it depends on the clarity which I am having now. That unfoldment will happen in the next tomorrow and the next very moment. Again, that thought process will change based on that clarity. So it keeps constantly changing depending upon our perception. So it is also Anitya.
So as you said, it is temporary and permanent, and changing and non-changing. So the difference is that. But we know that the mind is changing, thoughts are changing, but still we are stuck to that.
Yes.
How is it that you, what are all the efforts that you have put to come out of that?
Effort to come out means we have to ponder on the knowledge again and again. We have to recall it, nidhidhyasana, and sharpen our intellect. We have to strengthen our Viveka. through strengthening our Viveka only, we can come out of this.
What is it that you do personally?
Personally, I do same thing. I used to recall the things whatever I studied, and I what tally make tally on what introspect on myself on entire day, how I handle when I where I went, and did I apply these teachings or did I recall these things, whether I involved in the thoughts and just keep on reacting and all I just with, as you said, we should withdraw from and we should look it, then only we can take better action. That I will introspect, and I just pray for I chant Gayatri mantra also just to strengthen my Viveka, so that I can give me Gayatri Devi to give me bestow with Viveka, Vairagya, Jnana, Bhakti. I just pray. This practice I will do.
How often do you do in a day?
I do daily 21 times chant. 21 times.
This withdrawing.
Withdrawing, the moment I felt emotionally disturbed, I found that I am inward.
So how many times do you feel in a day?
Nowadays it is rare, quite not regularly, quite often. And being the moment I felt that I am getting inward, I just withdraw myself. And as Prabhuji has told in this video, when that mind has get disturbed, that moment I witness, I can handle. That moment what I am not aware about that I am disturbed, I will just involve in that, and I feel that has happened to myself. This as I've been observed in myself. So witnessing will help me to withdraw from the situation.
So today, how many times did you witness yourself?
Today, not such things, any things happen, just as usual routine.
So in routine, you don't remember?
Maybe today such things as not anything as now.
Okay, only
Bharatish ji.
Huh?
Today was a peaceful day for Bharatish ji. That is what it means.
Okay, peaceful day means were you as a witness or were you involved in the work with objective world?
Today, maybe I was involved only, I think so. Not witnessing, but but when I get some disturbing situation, that something that's happened, that time I become consciousness, so that anything, everybody, all working peoples, all people will have some viveka, that they won't react, because if they react also, it will be difficult for their job also. That much viveka also there will be there. So that viveka is also there. Along with this viveka also help me to manage the things better.
Yeah, very a lot of improvement. But one conclusion that we can make is, with disturbance of mind, it is easy to be a witness. So the
also
more
possible. Yes.
the disturbance, the more you can go as witness.
Yes, we can witness.
So then you can merge with the self.
Since I am not the mind, I can address that mind has gone some undergone some disturbance, but it is not me. When my intellect conclude in this way, then only I can find the solution. If I think that mind is if I didn't think this mind is not undergoing this disturbance, then I felt this situation is for me only. I am only undergoing that difficult situation or things. So it can be separately analyzed. We cannot involve.
So that means to say, we forget to be as witness or abide in the self. So when do we get suffering or struggles or disturbance of mind is to remind us to go to the self.
Yes.
So we must understand that struggles and difficult situations are not given simply to us.
Yes.
we will be moving or progressing with each difficulty in our lives.
Yes.
So that understanding we will have to get. Maybe some may be really difficult because we can maybe all the swasanas and everything will be burned in those suffering, wherein we will be deeply hurt and deep emotions take place. So that is the blessing. But how do we take that? We don't take it in that way. Oh, we are suffering. Why God has given me all these sufferings? Why me? Why not somebody? Oh, instead of why not somebody? Why alone me? Why should
Yes.
I get suffering? What have I done wrong to get that suffering?
Yes.
Is what we will think. But suffering is something that can transform us, and complacent and happy things cannot transform us. The routine things cannot change us. So, from what you said, we can conclude this. So, suffering is something that can make us instantly transform. It can bring in transformation in us instantly.
Yes. Yes, I think that suffering is because maybe my understanding is
Hmm.
why me is getting suffering. If I think that, again, it's a wrong perception that me is this body. So that understanding make me to speak like that.
Hmm.
When the moment I have me is different, that this body is undergoing this condition because of some prarabdha, past previous.
Yes.
It has to undergoes, it has to burn some all previous karmic actions or everything. So it is undergoing that, but this is not me. The
Yes.
moment I
Yes.
think that, suffering will not be there.
Yes.
That
Yes.
when I am in that ignorance that I am this body, then
Hmm.
obviously I will conclude that why this is for me.
Correct. Yes.
So
Exactly.
again that Viveka play a major role, that separation is will happen but through this sense of what Viveka. Through that only we can come out of from suffering.
Yes. Yes. So all these can come as answers or come up in the discussion only when you start to experience.
Yes.
Otherwise, all these cannot be told at all because we will not have experienced all these.
Yes.
So, only when at least momentarily we should have experienced this.
Yes.
Only then can we tell suffering or being a witness or abiding in the self. All these can come with experience only. It can be talked about.
Yes.
If we have not experienced, we'll be at the knowledge level, theory level.
Yes.
Okay, very well said, Bhartiji. Vaishnavi ji. So I asked Vaishnavi ji, then Sudhaji, it was your turn. You joined at the right time. Bhartiji, you joined at the right time. Hmm. Uh, Vaishnavi ji, I would like to ask almost similar question as what Bhartiji answered. Maybe it was continued. How can you personally come out of any suffering that you're either undergoing or you have already experienced earlier?
Ma'am, we've also, in the course of discussing this, talked about Vairagya and detachment and how this universal error must be dealt with Viveka, as Guruji says, that we must keep applying.
Mm.
And as Sudha ma'am says, that the actual understanding and the experience is a wide, is a journey actually. That gap is actually a journey. And then to understand that it takes mindfulness
Mm.
and detachment to keep reminding you oneself that whatever you and Guruji also gives the example of the nursing home where you should not, if you were the doctor
Mm.
and as a gynecologist you empathize so much that it shrouded your logic and your reasoning as a doctor, which is your dharma, and you are unable to perform even if your kindness is misplaced,
Mm.
your compassion has no value there. So that way, you have to remind yourself that if you yourself were a patient of suffering, you must keep reminding yourself that to help yourself is to detach from the situation and look at it objectively. And it does not mean that you cry along with and amplify the pain. It is to be part of the solution and step aside and look at it as a witness. And that is how this is again practice, ma'am. I think before I joined this class, everything would affect me very much. Being happy if somebody appreciated, if somebody criticized my work in the office, I would probably take days to recover from it. And probably that was because the ego is big. That you realize that you are infallible, and your efforts are perfect. That there is no room for mistakes. There is no room for any kind of defeat, and you cannot be questioned at any time because you have put in the most precious energy and effort. So that way, but as the course happened and a lot of thinking and discussion and a lot of processing happened, you realize that all, even in Upadesha Saram, if Kriya is not the biggest thing, what you do is not the biggest thing, there's something beyond that. And you have to understand that certain things are for you not to question. Every question does not have an answer. You have to witness and stay away from the situation to observe and to find your balance. You have to center yourself by not being part of that and objectively view the situation. That is how, as per your question, if how you would reduce the suffering of your past experience, to keep replaying it through the eyes of the observer, not the sufferer. And that is how you realize that there is a learning in a situation. And that learning is what was destined. And you will never be able to learn unless you step out of the victim zone. You have to understand that it is not me, it is not because it was I, it is because this is part of the circle of life and death. And me, or in any other janma, I would have suffered another suffering. That's all. This particular situation is one among the many millions I would have suffered. And the fact that what I have learned and how I can detach myself by being the witness is what truly I have realized in the course of this discussion now.
Okay, what is it that you practically do to detach yourself? How do you do it actually?
Ma'am, the first thing I do, I stop reacting. Uh, I understand that in many situations when I think that I cannot have control over it, is what triggers me. The moment I know I have everything under control, if the kitchen is running well, if the maids are coming on time, things are running on schedule, if things are going on schedule in the office, everything is under control, I am in control of myself. But the moment there is something, the maid hasn't turned up on time, I'm getting late for office, or something happened, some letter was sent wrongly from office, somebody's calling up, and I'm still cooking. These are all situations I am unable to control. Maybe 40% I can control and 60 I cannot. So I have to stop reacting. What is it that you can do by not reacting? And understanding that a calm presence of mind and staying up away from the situation as a witness. What is the ideal situation is that time when the cloud of this confusion disappears. And that will happen only if you stay apart, not suffer along.
No, but there is a trigger. You have kept on telling that you shouldn't get involved in that. You should be detached from that. But
Yes.
what effort do you put so that anybody can get to know how each of us will put our own way of handling the situation and going inward.
Ma'am, one rule I follow is I tell myself, don't make it worse than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
If I know that there is a situation A and the ideal situation was B, I even though B is what I want, uh, just getting out of A is equally important. And sometimes you the physical act of not reacting and to stay silent and to take a moment, take a breath, and think of the best possible outcome in given the situation is what I feel. That is what I do, ma'am. I keep silent. I don't I try not to take things personally, and then I think of the best outcome of that possible situation. It may not be what I want, but it, I just want to get out of A. So sometimes
So,
I
as you mentioned, if the maid doesn't come and you are getting late for your office, how would you
hmm.
manage that?
Then if the maid, what are the very essentials that I must finish before getting out of house? If cooking is what is required, then I will do that. Cleaning, if cleaning can wait, I will come back and do it.
Hmm.
If cooking cannot wait because my kid has to come and eat, then I will
Hmm.
do that. I prioritize. What is it that I can do? What is it that I can leave?
Hmm.
And that's how you can take control. Miniature, controlling of the variables. That's all you can do. And I feel that sometimes you have to let go of your ego, of the infallible hero that you always want to be in life.
Correct.
That's never going to happen. And then I realized that you have to silence yourself, and that silence is what gives you answers. You cannot keep questioning. Every question doesn't have an answer in life, and you shouldn't waste time thinking. You must start practicing, like what we were just discussing, ma'am. Unless you practice what you learn, this gap that Sudhaji mentioned between understanding and experience will take years together. No matter how
Yes.
many discussions we hold, unless we
Correct.
start practicing, it never happens. We have to start practicing with the smaller situations.
Hmm.
Like this maid not coming is a small situation in life. Because
Hmm.
in every
Hmm.
day I forget by the end of the day or maybe the next day. But these are the situation I can practice. And then, God forbid, but if there are situations that deem, more seriousness and more, grave situations, then I will, my sense of balance is not so lost that it takes days and months for me to come back.
I-
I still know that I am capable of going back to the center that I want. I think yes, ma'am. So the small things that you practice in life, small practical things that you experience and solve every day in life helps you to challenge, helps you to face the challenging big situations.
Correct. These are all the things wherein we can prepare ourselves for any challenge.
Yes,
And you also mentioned you will be silencing your mind. How do you do that?
my mind is again, it's a factory. Chitta vritti, the mind, the work of the mind is also chinta.
Hmm.
Is it is to it is to not just analyze the current situation, is also to project your fears into the future. You're wondering what if the maid, I mean, if supposing she hadn't, no, I had have, reprimanded her for not having cleaned something. She's left. I mean, if she's going to leave me forever, how do I find somebody else? It'll take so many more days for me to get someone. These are the unnecessary fears that the mind will keep projecting. So you are losing time, you're losing your focus, you're losing your energy in the meanwhile, and neither getting done any things that you really want to manage the situation. So, ideally, silencing your mind would mean to stop, um, uh, letting your mind freely go the way it wants unnecessarily. There's a logical sequence of things that you must do to take control of the situation. That is where the mind must focus on to do what is necessary, not to think and forecast and project and think trillions of thoughts, but to be in the present and to understand what is to be done now, right now. You handle every moment. You handle through hard times. You have to handle every moment and every hour, not the whole years and months and days together. But how do I just get through the next half an hour or the next 1 hour? Sometimes that's all it needs, ma'am.
So, as you said, it is the solution angle that you're giving to the situation. But are you silencing the mind? Are you working to get this solution? And because in next, that is, you'll have to rush to your office. So, are you working towards that, or are you silencing the mind? And can you silence the mind?
Silence the mind would, I mean, nobody can actually silence the mind. There's something always going around. It's the brain, and the brain has to survive by thinking what is to be done next to be, to be alive. So
Will the
that
brain think?
now in Tattva Bodha class, I cannot use brain, the mind. So yes, ma'am. So yes, we are also wondering what is to be done. Well, that is your dharma. That is your vritti. You have to do that. You have to be. In one of the previous classes we discussed being in samsara. We have to find. You have to find the balance. You have to figure out everything that it takes for you to, uh, cross all the milestones that you need to in your vritti, in your samsara, nija jivana, all of that. So you cannot you cannot call it a day, you cannot call it realization without having gone through all these milestones. And it is well worth going through these milestones to reach there, in fact.
So, when you don't have any work, no struggles, no immediate steps to be taken, no rush, no hurry, how do you understand yourself, capital I?
And when the mind is not on a flight or fear mode, you realize that you are focused on the bigger things. You're not managing the situation. You're focused on what the purpose of life is. What are the bigger things that you need to be
How do
doing?
you do? Do you seek the calmness of mind or the quietness of mind when you are given some time? Maybe how do you do your meditation?
Ma'am, for me, meditation is dance. I find a lot of, even Nritya is upasana, Nritya
Yes.
upasana. So I
Like
feel that,
Nadopasana.
yes, like music. So
Mm.
you find you have to figure out an activity or a situation where your sense organs, your mind, your energy, and the body is in sync. When you're dancing, you cannot be thinking of anything else but dance. And if you are doing abhinaya, you have to be so well versed with the rasa and bhava that you have to enact it in a way that it justifies what the composer intended to. At the same time, you are duly responsible to the audience watching you. So there is a lot that process itself is a conscious effort of integrating your body, your mind, everything, even the breath you take matters on stage.
Yes,
You cannot
yes,
be
yes.
puffing and dancing.
Mm, mm,
Senior dancers do not huff and puff when they dance. It's only the junior dancers. That's
mm.
again a journey of having controlled your mind and your body. So, this whole, for some people it's meditations, for some people it's music, but anything that puts your sense organs, your energy, and your body and mind in the same plane. That
Yes. So, do you dance for yourself or for the audience?
no, it is always on the stage. Your dharma is for the audience.
Hmm.
It is beyond the audience. It is along with the audience that the nartaki attains the oneness. The
Ah.
dancer doesn't dance for her own upasana. It is not for the realization of only the dancer that she dances. It is her dharma to take the audience along with her.
Hmm.
Her art.
Ah. So,
So
if you don't enjoy yourself, your dance, will the audience enjoy?
never.
Yeah. So when you are one with your dance, only then can you share that with the others without
Yes,
you noticing that.
yes,
It is like maybe a Sadguru who is already realized can give us that experience of maybe with a gradual shift in our movement towards the realization. In the same way, a dancer also gives that oneness, that bhava, whatever rasa that you are enacting, that can be transpired to the others only if you are totally into that.
ma'am. In fact, yes, ma'am. In fact, in Taittiriya Upanishad, Raso Vaya Saha.
Mm.
Rasa is what is experienced right now, which means every process of nritya,
Mm.
is one that must be enacted and absorbed and enjoyed by both the audience and the artist together.
Mm.
And rasa is a universal term.
Mm.
If self-realization, as Guruji mentions, that is also finding rasa, the ultimate rasa, ananda rasa, and what Guruji mentions.
Mm.
That is the same. It is the same concept in dance also,
Yeah.
and same concept in music also, and the
Mm.
same that is in Upanishad also. And this
Yes, yes.
being one, the realized one.
Mm. So with dance or music, any art, maybe the painting, all those sketching and all that, what happens is you will be in the present, complete presence.
Yes,
So that is how maybe if you are listening to the singing or you enjoy that listening and or you're singing yourself, then you will not be conscious of anything else, but you're involved in that the essence of that music or the essence of the dance. So that is what happens then is the oneness, that is you're in complete present moment. So you're not thinking of the past, you're not thinking of the future. So there are no thoughts actually there. So that is silence. So Nadopasana and Nrityopasana is this, the oneness happens there. But still we are in Dvaita. I and something else will be there. We are just there. That is presence. So to come to presence is only through some, if you have a real passion to learn singing or dancing and getting one with that, then this can be achieved. So one, any art form, it can go up to that.
yes,
So
ma'am.
that is the greatness of our Indian uh, art, because it leads to that. So any song, what is the meaning of the song? Without song, you cannot dance. So dance or the singing will always be uh, the essence of each of the dance will be how to be in unison with the Lord. So everything is based on that. So that is how our culture is so rich. Indian culture, Hindu culture is so rich that anything that you do, maybe story, if you listen, if you're telling a child, then how is it that we can bring in all these? So from the childhood, it will be taught. But when we come here as the satsangam, here the other aspects that we will be forgetting, that is being in the self, is also taught. So when we have experienced either in dance or music, we can correlate here and bring our thoughts also in the apart from not doing maybe when we are not doing the dance, how to balance our mind is what we can learn here with this simple explanation by Guruji, which can be implemented easily and can be we can sustain with that. It's not that one day we will implement and then next 10 days we don't implement. That may be because of our laziness. So this is what is very fruitfully each one of you is experiencing it and taking forward. That is something that gives encouragement, at least to me too. Even if you miss classes, it's okay. But you are working on yourself. That is something that is the essence of whatever you all told. So we have a few more questions wherein we can finish subtle body also. We have dealt with so many things. It is both gross body and subtle body that we have come up with. But still, can we continue or shall we take up it in the next
We'll
class?
take it up next class. We'll take it up.
Okay.
Because
So talk 29 will go to the next class. Anyway, we have not started with subtle body at all. We can take it up with, I'll send another video, the next video. So those two can be taken up in the next class. Okay. So this is this was a very fruitful discussion, I think. Hope you all agree with this.
Yes.
So just with subtle body, it was just 8 minutes or 9 minutes video. So much can be discussed. A few sentences, maybe one sentence itself, how we can apply and how to bring that into action is something that we will be learning. And that is something really useful. At least I am finding even this class is very useful for me. Maybe it is just not the questioning, but so many aspects of each of you can be learned by me. So that, oh, if at all such a situation comes in this way, I could have also handled it, is what I get into my understanding. So thanks to all of you, and let us end it with the prayer. Any doubts or any clarification needed? Anybody? Okay. So let us end this with the prayer. Our gratitudes to Guruji for having given this opportunity. And he has made it so simple for us to understand. Our gratitudes to him. We'll end it with the prayer. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudurchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu nanembudu nanalla ideha manabuddhi nanalla Sachidanandatma Shiva nanu nane Shivoham 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 Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara Jyotireva Jyotihi Paranjyotihi Atmajyotihi Shivosmyaham. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om, Kantiji.
Hari Om.